Puppies! Today I want to talk about both mental health and transitioning and how these two work together. And I've been on this journey for almost a year now. I mean, to be fair, it's been like 6, 7 months, close to 8 now, but that's almost a year, right? Did I get you? Did I hook you? Anyway, listen to me. This video is half of a video that I do want to make and half of an experiment. YouTube recently introduced like a weird little thing for creators where in like your YouTube studio thing, you can see what kind of topics, what kind of videos people would want to see. And TikTok has had this for a while. I've never used it, but I was like, why not give it a shot? And YouTube apparently thinks you really want to see a video on mental health and transitioning. So I'm one-to-one gonna put that into the title. And I'm gonna be 100% transparent. It wants me to give you a very emotional hook and appeal. Transitioning and mental health are intertwined in a unique way for transgender individuals. Witness their strength, resilience, and the challenges they face in this heartfelt video. No, I'm not gonna use this freaking hook, but I am gonna tell you what YouTube thinks you want to hear. I am gonna try to go a little bit off the outline. There's like a big outline, and probably put a screenshot on the screen so you can see what I'm yapping about, and we'll see if any of those points are like useful for us that we're gonna talk about, right? So it wants me to start introducing the journey, a personal perspective. Start with the compelling introduction that highlights the importance of understanding transgender experiences. Honestly, if you watch this channel, I don't need to tell you that, right? You understand that our experiences are very important, right? Because all the experiences of every single human being are important, obviously, right? Then it wants me to briefly introduce myself as a narrator connection to the thought. You know who I am. I make so many personal videos, probably too many of them. You know more about me than my family probably knows about me. It's like, I don't need to establish me. Then establish the video's purpose to share personal stories of mental health and transition. That I will do, honestly, because let me tell you at this point that mental health can be a problem. I had mental health problems in the past, and every once in a while I have days where it's worse, as it is for all of us, right? And actually, let me hydrate. That's not in the script, by the way. I just want you and me to hydrate. It's like 34 degrees right now. Think when I am in the basement. So, let me tell you, there's a person who basically at the same time came out at work, at family, and with friends, and online to you guys. And then also is a creator, gets comments, has to make videos while also working a real life job. That's a lot of things. Right? So yes, I have a lot of personal stories, and if you look at this channel, there are a lot of personal stories. But then we continue, right? It wants me to navigate the complexities, the mental health challenges, explore the unique mental health challenges faced by transgender individuals. I mean, broski, of course, yes. What of YouTube AI doesn't know here? We all know that it's very hard to be trans, especially in today's climate, because not only do you have to juggle your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own biases, your own internalized transphobia, you also have to deal with freaking external transphobia and external misogyny and external queerphobia and all of that bullshit, okay? And homophobia and all the other things, right? And then of course you have to deal with freaking what's it called? Healthcare not being available like everywhere like it should. So yeah, it's like this kind of reads right now like I'm supposed to make a video for people who've never heard about trans people in their life before. And the next point says, highlight the importance of dysphoria and social stigma on mental well-being. I mean, dysphoria sucks. It does. It's hard to deal with. It's worse for some than others. It's worse on some days than others. But for me, it's never really gone away. It's many days it's almost not noticeable, and other days it comes back. And then the social stigma of mental well-being. I think we're kinda past that point in human consciousness, the meta game, if you want, right? I think people have acknowledged in general that mental well-being and mental health is important. It's not as stigmatized anymore to go like to a therapist, no matter for what, right? And talking with people, saying I'm taking a mental health day. my mental health is not that good today. Like, I think that's not as stigmatized anymore. So YouTube AI, please update yourself. Next, it wants me to share stories from individuals about their personal experiences with anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. Well, I'm not about to read some of the comments I get or some of the Discord messages I get out loud here. That's like, why would I do that? That's their personal space. But I can tell you about myself, where anxiety I only really experienced for like the first 2 weeks of HRT, because my body was like all wibbly and wobbly with like new hormones and shit. Depression I talked about on this channel before. I think the video is called When It Doesn't Get Better or something. And then mental health issues, we've talked about that, right? Next up, there's the new blog called Finding Support, Accessing Resources and Communities. Discuss the importance of seeking professional support from therapists specializing in gender identity. Listen, in most cases, sadly, it's not an importance. It is a inevitability, because in many places, if you want to get HRT, if you want to get any kind of surgery, if you want to get any kind of help, you are required, you are forced even, right, to seek a therapist. Not saying that seeking a therapist is bad. Most of the time it does help. But it is a little bit stupid that that's basically a blockade you have to go through to even like get HRT. It's like, So it's like a little bit weirdly worded. Like, it almost seems like YouTube doesn't really know what the hell they're talking about. Of course they don't, because it's an AI. And also, let me tell you at this point that this AI basically can only make these suggestions because they obviously take all the data from my channel about the videos I've made. They didn't ask me if they could. It just happened. And of course they take all the data of all the people that watch me. They didn't ask you if they could. And then also, and I probably show that at some point when you reach that point, it even tells you what other YouTube videos this like AI script is inspired by. Basically, they tell you which video it was stolen from. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's so weird, dude. That's so weird. And I don't even want to know how many other creators just use this thing, because it can be very powerful, right? And don't tell anybody. Just change some things up. Use actual good thumbnails and shit and do that, right? Anyway, where were we? Introduce LGBTQ plus mental health resources and support organizations. Wish I could do that. Wish I had the informations of all the like countries where everything is. I'm pretty sure from other people that I heard in America, there's like Planned Parenthood that do help. There's the Trevor Project. In Germany, I'm actually not entirely sure, since I did not have had to use that. But there are, listen, it doesn't matter in what country you are, there's probably a dedicated Reddit page, or even a dedicated Discord for trans people in your country, maybe even for trans people in your city, if your city is big enough. And maybe join that, ask there. That's like a way better resource than me, right? Next up, it says, emphasize the value of connecting with trans communities and finding a sense of belonging. That I actually agree with, right? It is so nice to have like this community here. By the way, join the Discord. We have like over 1,000 people there you can interact with. Subtle plug! Right? It's so nice to talk with other people who potentially have some of the same experiences, who can understand what it's like to feel all these things, who know what dysphoria is and all those things, maybe even share. That's most of the parts why I'm even doing these videos, right? So you know what happens at like month X on HRT with me, what my opinions are on why and all of that stuff, right? Next up, and we're almost done here, it says the transition process, a journey of self-discovery. Oh my god, AI, you make such good titles. Explain the various stages of transitioning, including medical, social, and legal aspects. I mean, that's a valid point to make, right? Because there are indeed different stages and different things. So for like medical, of course, there's HRT, there's potential surgeries, there's like hair removal. And yes, I would call it medical as well. What else is medical? Probably more. Can't think of it right now. Social, of course, is coming out at work, coming out at family, coming out with your friends. Have anything else social? That's like all the social things, right? Presenting as your gender in public, that's social. all of those kind of things. Then, of course, you have the legal aspect, which is changing your papers, changing your name, potentially changing your freaking tax thingies and what's it called? What's it called? Insurance thingies. Because, like, for example, in Germany, there is the pension number that you get, and that pension number does actually have an indicator whether you're male or female. So when you legally change genders, you need to like get a new one and stuff like that. That's all the legal things, right? And then it wants me to share stories about individual personal joy with transitioning and the impact it had on their lives. Again, I'm not gonna share somebody else's thing. I'm just gonna say that many, many, many people have commented that transitioning has helped them a lot. And of course, we have studies about that, right? That basically transitioning, HRT, and even like surgeries have like a 99% what's it called, happiness quota. There's only like a 1% regret thing, but 1% of people who transition in the end are not happy with the results and maybe discover that either they weren't trans or they want to detransition, all that stuff. It's like 1%, right? So that's so high. 99% is so high, dude. It's so high. What the hell? Then we have highlight the triumphs and challenges encountered throughout the transition process. I mean, the highlight for me would probably be making this channel, deciding to make this channel, having an outlet to talk and yap with you people. That's cool. And of course, the challenges, we all know what they are. Again, transphobia, homophobia, queerphobia, all that bullshit, not accepting family members, not accepting workplaces, even getting HRT, even being able to go and change legal things, because you cannot do that everywhere. And even if you can, still doesn't mean that just because you legally changed your name, everybody's now suddenly is going to be like, oh my god, that's your new name, amazing, let me use it. Sadly, no. Anyway, it's still 35 degrees. I'm second drink reminder. It's been a while. Okay, we're at the last point that YouTube wants me to talk about. Finding hope and strength, resilience, and avocado. Share stories of individuals who have found resilience and strength throughout the transition. Yo, that's like the same we already talked about. We are knowing that. Empathize the importance of advocating for transgender rights and creating a more inclusive society. Now more than ever. Yes, thank you, YouTube. That's a good point. It doesn't have to be like in a big way where you try to contribute. Maybe you wear a pin. Maybe you go to like a pride parade. Maybe you go in Germany like to a Christopher Street Day or something like that. There's like many ways you can do. Maybe you only put your signature in a petition. But yeah, it's very important to advocate for transgender rights. But the sad part is, if only trans people advocate for trans rights, it's never going to be enough, because again, we're like 1% of the population. So we are basically forced to try to convince our human beings with good consciousnesses that, oh my god, our rights would be so cool to have. So could you like help us? And there are many allies, and there are many people working for us, and there are many politicians and like forces and organizations working for us. Yes, there are bad ones, but there are good ones as well. And then it says, and with a message of hope, empowerment, support for the transgender community. With that, I'm just gonna say, you're a cutie patootie, you're a bean. And the best and most hopeful thing is that tomorrow it is not going to be 35 degrees anymore, but only like 23 degrees. And that's kind of cool. That is what YouTube wants me to say for the outline, right? Let's see. There are some, and I'm probably going to show you right now a screenshot of thumbnails it even suggests me to use. They are absolutely horrible. I'm not going to use any of the thumbnails. But I also looked at some of those like thumbnails on the Magic the Gathering channel. Another subtle plug, by the way. And those actually looked eerily good, which is like, oh my god, I don't like that. Sorry, my voice is cracking, dude. And then down here it even says inspiration from our creators. And let's see, I never clicked this show more button, but yeah, I'm gonna show you a screenshot of what I'm seeing right now. This is basically telling me what inspiration and what like videos they stole these ideas from, which is like wild. That's absolutely wild, is it not? Anyway, this video is like 14 minutes long. I hope you liked the hashtag YouTube wants me to talk about this video. Do let me know if you actually, between all the humor and sarcasm, did take something good from this video. Leave me a comment down below, cutie patootie, and I will show back with regular scheduled Shyaren soon. Bye!